All right, welcome to this week's live show. Does the sound good? Am I good right here? Yeah, okay. Sorry if I blew out your speakers there, but I need to see if this kind of worked. Yeah, okay. All right. This week we're just talking about whatever you guys want. What? We usually did this on Monday nights around 7. I'm a little bit late today because, man, it takes a long time to get this going. This YouTube thing is super buggy. Sorry about that. I just need to... Yeah, okay. Took a lot of tries to get this thing going, but finally it started, so now here we are, right? And we usually just do a bunch of Q&A. You guys ask questions, and we just talk about that stuff, right? Every week around this time. Welcome. This is your first time. Welcome to this live chat. And we talk about, again, like whatever you guys want to talk about. But this week, I want to use you guys as market research. So I had this idea. There are people who build electric. A little background. If you guys don't know who I am, you're just stumble up this channel, whatever. I am an electric car enthusiast. I do things with batteries, solar, renewable energy, all that stuff, right? But I started this whole thing by converting my very own electric car, and it's a VW Samba bus. Right, it's a 1957 split bus, window, like 23 window bus, right? You can find it in my channel. It's like in a bunch of videos. It's got its own series and all stuff. I'm getting very close to finishing that project. But I was recently on vacation, and I thought, man, how great would it be for me to have my car here and just drive around in this exotic, Hawaiian island, right? It would be amazing. But obviously, it's it's not impossible, right? If you have enough money and you're crazy enough, you can ship your car there. But it's not, it's not practical, right? No one's going to do that unless you're some rich guy, which most of us aren't, right? And so I thought, what if you ever want that to happen, like anything else, right? I want a VW bus that was electric, it didn't exist, so I had to make it. I'm like, if I can't go to some like destination like Hawaii and drive a classic electric car like one of these buses, because it doesn't exist, it won't exist until I make it happen. So I'm like, can I make that happen? I don't know how to convert these cars. I have the access, I have the know-how, I could do this. And I never had an interest in building cars for others, right? I always thought, nah, I'm not gonna convert someone else's car, I'm gonna convert my own. Like, I want to work on my projects, right? And I like much more than just buses. This is just one thing, but I thought, can this be? So my question is to you guys, if you guys were on vacation, and most of you guys, that if you guys ever go on vacation, you guys rent cars, right? If you're in would you ever consider renting a classic electric car, sort of like this? I realize not everyone likes it, but imagine, it doesn't have to be this bus. It can be like an old Jeep, right? Like a 50s, 60s Jeep, a Mustang, convertible Mustang, a Porsche 912, not the 911s because those are too expensive, or even older than that, like a Speedster, or just a Bug. I'm not super fan of the Bugs or the Beetles and stuff, but I know there's 25 million of them made, right? So there's a lot of people that like them. Would you ever consider renting one of those? There are the Turo apps. This last time I went to Hawaii, I was looking in there to see what was available to rent, and there was Teslas, right? And Teslas are kind of expensive. They were somewhere around $150, somewhere around that range. And I was like, yeah, do I want to rent one just to try it out? Like one of these higher end Teslas that we don't have. And I ended up saying, no, that's too much money. I can't do that whole thing. But I think if it was a classic electric, I would have totally gone for it. At least, 1 or 2 days out of the time that I was there, right? So I don't know. What did you guys say? Oh my God, where's the chat? Where did you guys go? Anyways, that's just market research. I figure since you guys are here, since we're hanging out together, and you guys are either a fan or not. I know there's a lot of you guys that come to this channel for unrelated, the classic cars. Maybe you guys are Tesla drivers, but not really into the classic stuff. Or maybe you're just looking into the battery thing. You want to do solar, DIY, off-grid, all this stuff. But I don't know. What do you guys say? Totally a 65 Mustang or a bug, says Steve Boduker. What is everyone else saying? Jehu, I charge $15 an hour for this. Oh, for being a guinea pig, or what is it? Focus group. This is our little focus group. I have to actually take that into account, that you guys are, you know, might be higher likely or more indisposed to be, you know, jazzed about this idea than the general public, right? But here's a crazy thing about this. I kind of did a little bit of research, and, you know, Maui, no, okay, so Oahu, for example, 5 million visitors a year. Maui, 2.5 million, right? So just those two little islands right there, you know, 7.5 million visitors a year. There's bound to be someone crazy enough like me that likes old cars that want to also drive them around electric, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the only crazy in the world, right? We have a, you know, there's more of me, you know? There's 100 of you guys watching. There's enough crazy people like me that would probably likely do the thing, right? So, let's see what you guys saying here. I would, battery addiction. Yeah, so perfect example. This guy, you know, there's something off with him because he's got a battery addiction. You know, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you know, we all have a little something. We all have the battery addiction. Actually, we're here talking about this nonsense. But it sounds expensive. Yeah. So I was thinking about this, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Oh, well, I don't know. It depends what expensive is, right? I think okay, so here's what happened. Usually you can expect to have a rental car, and it's a nice car. Even if it's like a little cheapy car, right? Like entry-level thing, like a Ford Fiesta or something. It's usually like brand new, doesn't have things. This time, I don't know if it was my wife was just being cheap or, you know, frugal or whatever. We rented a piece of junk. It was like an all Ford Focus. The radio didn't work. It was like all dented up and scratched. I was like, what's going on? I don't know if it's just because it's Hawaii, but other times that I've rented, it's usually been, you know, through another, I don't know if it was a company that but I was like, why are we driving around an old junky car, you know, and it's costing us, you know, it wasn't costing us much. I think it was like $45 a day or something, you know. I'm like, I would gladly pay twice that, or maybe even close to 3 times that for a cool car that I can afford. Okay, by the way, for those of you who don't know, to give you guys a little bit of visual, right? Not that maybe you guys don't need it, but I did take the time to prepare this stupid thing. That's why it also took me a little while to set up. But check this out. So here's an example of maybe a car that I would be interested in converting. Oh, wait a minute. You guys are not seeing it. Here we go. Hopefully my mic's still working, right? That would be like a version, right? So this is not like my Buzz. My Buzz is really old. It's like 57. Probably not a good candidate to do that because, you know, the mechanicals are not the greatest. It's really expensive car. You know, it's the suspension, you know, I would have to like kind of upgrade everything. But this one, for example, this is like later in the 60s. They fixed a lot of the stuff. Suspension's a lot better. IRS suspension. They're more spacious. You know, you can see better, right? That big window in the front and stuff. I mean, look at that thing. I don't know if I'm the only crazy person here, but I look at that and I'm like, man, that's beautiful. I want to drive that thing around, especially if I was over there, right? So anyways, that's just, yeah. Think about that. Here's another one. Let's do another one. Boom. Here's another one. I guess I like the blue ones because I just happen to pick a bunch of these blue buses or whatever. And let's see. Oh, look at this one. I was thinking about, I know there's like, I like ratty cars, right? Or cars that are not like 100% shiny, that are like, you know, show the signs of their age and stuff. I realize that's a thing that is up in the right, you know, in popularity, rising in popularity. But it's not for everyone, right? So I think if I were to kind of want to do that, I would probably stick with like, you know, shiny ones, because I know those are, you know, more. And then of course this there's this one that is in the that is, I think this is the one that I used for the thumbnail of this video. So anyways, that's just my crazy idea that I'm thinking about. That's just what we're doing. We don't have to talk. That's it. That's my market research. What say you guys? Yes, no? It would be cool to see a bunch of yeses, a bunch of nos, and then I can go later and count them and just see out of the 115 people that are here, how many we would see. 68 light Island Times. Look at the blue. Oh, Island Times. Are you fan? You might be a fan of this. Oh my God, my dogs are gonna go crazy. Let me just take a quick break before my wife comes in, because we won't be able to hear anyway, so I won't be able to talk. Quick break. You want to see what 10 kilowatts looks like on a meter? Let's make a power wall. Positive, positive. Well, they're not super even, but they're okay. Whoa, they are kind of all over the place. All right, okay, now I'm back. Now that the whole commotion's gone, we can continue with our thing. Where were we? You guys were talking about something. Would you rent them yourself? Yeah. So my crazy idea is to have, like, convert one, and go through the process, make videos and stuff, because I love converting cars. It's just, you have one, I have my bus, I'm like, why do I need another car? How many cars can one man have? I'm not rich, I'm not like Jay Leno or whatever. But then I thought, like, well, what if I had a business where I would rent them, and then, like, I would build them and go through the project, figure cool things to do with them stuff. Then, you just, like, rent them, put them on tour or put them on those apps or whatever. And then that gives me the perfect thing to, like, convert cool cars, all the crazy ideas that I've ever had, Do the Hummer, electric, those giant things that, that Arnold used to drive around or ride around. That would be, if it was making me money, then no one would tell me no, and you have too many cars. Like, what are you talking about, right? So yeah, it would be, the idea would be for me to, like, buy these cars, work on them myself, do a project out of them, and then, put them to. And then, of course, we would have to try that here in California. I'm in LA area, the people come here from all over the world, figure out the business side of that thing, and then eventually go to some exotic place where it would be cool. I love going to Hawaii. I would love to be driving around, and unless I, have some scheme, unless I work up some scheme to do it, or like maybe it's gonna pay for itself or something, it's never gonna happen, right? So that's just my idea. They rent mini mokes in La Jolla. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, see, there are, and of course, this is not like something crazy. Like, these business models work, with exotic cars, for example, right? That's the niche, right? That's the thing. It's like, oh, it's an expensive car that not everyone has, so you gotta rent it. You'll pay a little premium for it, whatever. It would be something like that, but in this case, it's not that super expensive. It'd be the, somewhat expensive, but more like cool cars kind of thing. That they don't exist. You can just go and buy one or just rent. It's it's a weird thing, you know. It's a thing that we kind of started here in California, and it's growing. You know, Selectric is selling those, right? But I would never think there would be enough market to sell these cars, because by the time that you build them and then like you do all this work and research and manufacturing or like, you know, engineering stuff, and then you got to make some money for yourself, you end up making like $100,000 car, you know, $150,000 cars. But there's enough rich people here in California that they're having success, and so, you know, there's millions of people in California, and so enough rich people that. But, you know, if you just have to rent them, then, you know, that's not a huge thing. You could afford, you know, a few $100s here and there to, like, have a cool thing. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't know. I might be crazy, but maybe not. Maybe you guys would say, does Jay have Discord? You know, someone made a Discord for me, and it's still there, I believe, but I hardly ever go in there. Oh, it keeps buffering? Is that the thing? It shows green here, so it's maybe. Electric T model would be cool. There you go. See? I'm not a fan of that car per se, but probably enough people are, right? Because this is like the first production vehicle. It stands for something. It's, you know, it's American, and yeah, that would be pretty cool. I insta DM you a link to $50 pack that you want to check out. Is Chinese and claims to be crazy capacity, but it's tiny from what it says. It says like 1 kilowatt hour, but that's definitely a lie. Probably the only way for me to know would be to like get my hands on it and check it, right? The testers don't lie, you know. The numbers always lie. The claims always lie. The testers, you know, that resistive tester, that Hall effect, well, I guess sometimes they could lie, but usually they don't lie. You can put the thing in there, put the Samba on Turo. The problem with the Samba is that I'm putting too much time and too much effort to do it perfect, right? And I'm like, I don't want no one else driving that car. That's gonna be like a cool car. I want to put all the dents and things. I want to back it into something, you know. I want to do that, you know. But like for other cars, I wouldn't mind, you know. Like you build it, you do the thing, you try new things. There you go for it. Oh, you scratch it, okay, no big deal. Insurance will take care of it. Let's just send it to the shop, do the thing, right? But yeah, not mine. Mine, you know, it would be a crazy thing or whatever. I would add some cool car that is fully electric. I would love to see like a 55 Futra? Huh? What's a Futra? I don't know how to spell that. It was a car they used at the Batmobile. Oh, on the LTV show. Well, I want to say that was like, if it's the same one that I'm thinking, they weren't really in production. I know there's a TV show, the guy found one and made one, right? And I got to see it because we went to visit them. They're working on some other thing or whatever. Political call. Look at that. The U.S. politicians are calling me. No, I'm busy right now. So I wonder if that's yeah, I think that's the name, and that's a car. Yeah, it's not. I don't think that's that's the production vehicle. Those are very rare. Like it was a prototype or something. Would I have a problem if I build a 24-volt bank with a headweight 38 120s charging with a Noco 2600? I don't know what a Noco 2600 is, so I couldn't really tell you if you would have that. What is it? Is that like a charger? I don't know. Battery addicted here. So many Teslas here in Portland, Oregon. So many Teslas everywhere. I mean, maybe not everywhere, but definitely here in California, they're like everywhere. It's amazing. The Model 3, it's crazy. Oh, and that's another thing that goes tied to this. Like I've been looking at what's available in the batteries, and the Model 3 battery pack is going to revolutionize. It's going to drop the prices of batteries to the ground, especially because they're awkward size and, you know, configuration. No one knows what to do with 90 volts or 88 volts or whatever the nominal is. So yeah, I think that's gonna be really cool. Let's see, what are we doing here? I'm gonna find a little bit behind here. Swing shift, battery addiction works. Swing shift says, I would like to see one EV rad rod in your inventory. There you go. Yeah, a rad rod. It would be cool. There's an electric Corvette with a 6-speed manual. Yeah, but can you rent it? That guy probably doesn't let anybody drive that, right? He built it and he's like, get out of here. Discord DIY energy pack run by Physics. You know what's so funny? That guy, I used to be a part of that, and then for some reason he banned me. I must have said something he didn't like, and then he like, one day I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy was like, oh, you should join my thing, and I was like, I don't know what Discord is, and he's like, well, you should try it, and so he was kind of persistent, and then eventually I was like, oh, okay, yeah, join, and then, you know, kind of figured out, and then someone else opened a Discord for me, right, and then we started hanging out there, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, like, my thing, like, I'm kicked out, so I can't go to that one over there, right, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it wasn't, maybe like my invitation ran out. I don't know how it works, but like I used to be part of that DIY energy pack Discord, and I'm no longer. Big's first project is power. What the first setup you'd suggest? First project is power. What's the first setup you'd suggest? Ooh, I don't know. What are you gonna do there? I don't know. I don't quite understand what you're doing. You're kind of a workshop, right? My battery packs are an example of my creative mind at work. Jay, what 18650 charger would you suggest? I'm planning to get a new one when I get my job back. So it depends. What do you want to do with it? Sure, just charge single cells. You know, we're using those, the Little Calas and the Sand Flare ones. And you can go to mykit.com/Jehu and find, you know, all the chargers that I own there. But if you want to charge battery packs, then there's a bunch of different ones. We have all the other ones, the cell logs. I like those or whatever. Even though I have to figure out if they release the app so that they can do the graphing and stuff. There are other ones that do kind of a better job. But yeah, you can go to the kit.com and you can see all the chargers that I'm using. Samba's your baby. Yeah, man, I've been working on that thing for 7 years. It's too long. I gotta get it done. If I'm this close. I'm this close to getting it done. I think you'd be better off building them and then just driving them for a bit than selling them. Huh. Well, yeah, but why? There are people that are renting them, right? And I see challenges. Definitely see challenges, but I also see that the business model works. Here's the thing. I don't know, you know, I'm always like, it's always good for you to like diversify, right? I always heard that, right? And it's always like growing up, I'm like, I didn't grow up with money or anything, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, when it comes to, so, but I always like remember people saying like, you gotta find ways to do like, to have passive income. And I never knew what that was. I'm like, what does that mean? That sounds like, ooh, what is that? Now that I'm getting older, I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's true. Like the day I stopped making videos, I stopped making money. I mean, you know, it might take a few months or whatever for the checks to stop coming, but I still have to like get up here, right? Like, and just hustle every day. And I'm like, I need to kind of set up another thing where I don't it can run on its own, right? And so I'm like, what is that? Like, how can I use all my interests that are tied in right now? Well, all stuff that excites me right now. Yeah? And, you know, converting classic cars is a thing. I did it with myself. I don't have any interest to convert with someone else. Like I said, building the cars and then trying to find a thing. I'm like, no, that's a hard sell. Like, building one of these cars is such a like personal thing, right? And again, you'd have to sell it for like over $100,000 for these cars. I think that's those are overpriced. Even though I see people like Selectric that do it successfully, right? Now, that guy is a marketing machine. Like, he knows, he's rubbing elbows with the right clientele. He knows all the rich people. He's having success. I don't come from that background. I don't have anything in common with rich people. Therefore, I don't think I can recreate what he's doing. And I know there's ways I can leverage him. It just doesn't appeal to me, right? So that's why this renting thing, I think, kind of appeals more to me. Because, you know, once you get it going, you can have someone run it. It's just like a business it's just like, it's a normal business, you know? You can train someone else to, like, and you can hire a manager and sort of stuff like that. Let's see. Convert a CTS wagon. I wonder what a CTS wagon is. I'm not that. Ooh. Ford Pinto wagons. There's one of my neighbors here that has like 6 Pintos in his front yard. I think he's a huge fan of Pintos. You know, I don't know if he's working on them. I just always seen them there. I've been here in this town for like 10 years, more than 10 years now, and I've always seen them there. Put a gas engine in a Tesla, right? Because I know the EV West guys, and he gets those all the time, and then they part them out. You know what I mean? Like, they take out the battery and the motor. Then I could be like, hey, let's do this crazy project. Take your battery, take your motor, leave everything else in there intact, so that we can throw some LS6 or some crazy motor in there. Some diesel engine, a Cummins on a Tesla. That would be amazing. I would do it just for the views, just to troll, just to go to some EV, like, events and cast them. Like the big old diesel with 2 giant pipes that are like facing down. Yeah, I would do that. We might still do that. It's crazy ideas. Look, crazy ideas start by you saying like, oh, that's a crazy idea. It's fun, but that would never happen, right? That's how my bus started. Oh, it'd be a crazy idea. Oh, take one of these old cars and put some electric motor in there and a bunch of batteries. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That would never happen. Imagine the amount. How many batteries? 5,000 of these little batteries? Nah, come on. That's crazy. Then it cooks in your brain. And like it cooks. And then one day that timer bell goes off and ding. And you're like, I'm doing this thing, right? So some of these crazy ideas might actually happen. LG Prep says, finally caught you live again. I'd like to see an electric Model T pickup. Those 600-pound bits is what cranked my rib once. Not too many Teslas in Grass Pass, Oregon. Yeah, I guess not in Oregon. That would be cool. Yeah, like I said, this cool. Random Randy Physics invited me. Yeah, he invited me too, and then I don't know. I must have said something wrong. I must have said something that offended him, and then he revoked my invitation. Got my first order from Battery Hookup, Panasonic NCR 18650s, 2900 milliamp hours times 100. Lars, those are cool batteries. At one point, Panasonics were like almost impossible to get. Now there's a few sources we can get them, right? EV Rat Rod is becoming a thing on rich rebuilds, but it's likely a weak baby version. Oh yeah, because he's using that. I mean, well, it's a light vehicle. It's a little right? It's a little one. And that little motor, I think it's got a lot of torque. I mean, I don't know what the controllers, I don't know what the system's rated at, right? But might not be super weak. It might actually be better. I mean, it's not going to be a tire shredder, definitely, right? But it might be a fast little car. I don't know. I mean, I think so. I think it would be cool. That motor's probably 100 horsepower. And if he keeps that transmission where he can shift gears, right? Like if it's got 3 gears on there, that thing is going to be pretty crazy. 454 blown Chevy with 1,000 horsepower. There you go. 1 in 10 cars is a Tesla, it seems, in California Bay Area. Yeah. Yeah, over there's probably worse than here. Over here, there's quite a bit of them, but not, I don't know if it's 1 out of 10. Ooh, okay, it jumped a bunch of it. Let's go through them quickly, because I'm falling behind. Have you tried the Popeye's Crispy Chicken Sandwich yet? No. Haven't. Richie's Rat from e-bike is going good. Any mod can kick you or ban you on Discord for any reason. I had more on Discord drama twice this year. Oh, I see. So maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was one of his mods. That is true. That was one guy that just came at me. There's a lot of people that don't like what I'm doing. There's a lot of people that like me at first, right? And then they're like build their things, and then they become their own people with their own opinions. And then when I go against that and I'm trying some new things, and they're like, oh no, this guy's crazy. The first idea he had was right, but this new idea, that's what happens, I think. I remember one of his guys that was like criticizing me, and I was like, shut up. Maybe he's the one that banned me. I'm not sure that's a number they assign to your name matters. Good evening, Jehu. Good to see you. Always good time. I'm coming to you from my PC computer, but I'm watching from my Galaxy tablet. Ooh, you're crazy. That's craziness right there. How can I make DIY from Toyota Prius battery pack? No, don't use a Prius battery pack. Those batteries suck. They're small, and they're usually degraded because they're small, and they're usually tortured by that car, right? So they're usually, I mean, I think the new Priuses have like lithium-ion batteries technology, but the older ones were, I don't know, some other chemistries or whatever. Yeah, don't use, yeah. Get a Model 3 battery or Model S batteries. Those are really good. They're about $200 a kilowatt hour, 250 something like that, but those are like, you know, yeah, they're much better. Or if you want the cheapest battery right now, which I think I haven't looked at them. I should probably look at that. The Chevy Volt with the V battery packs are apparently super cheap. I mean, like 16 kilowatt hours or something for. Actually, no. Well, I want to say the Model 3 batteries are cheaper than that. Because those are 16 for, I've seen them for like $1,900 or $1,800 for 16. Well, it's about the same, right? So you can get a Model 3 module, 20 kilowatt hours, for about $2,400. And I think those are going to keep going down because people, don't, like I said, they don't know what to do with them, right? And so if you find something to do with them, then you're going to be able to buy them, or you're going to be able to pressure someone into like selling it to you for less and less or whatever. So JBig says the workshop would be good working, looking for a setup to charge 2 batteries, power a plug-in with router, 24 volts, thank you. Yeah, 24 volts would work. Yeah, because everything that you're describing there is probably less than 3,000 watts, which is usually about the upper range that you can do with 24 volts. Yeah, 24 volts should work. My mom and dad never had a dime when I was a kid. It says, yes, I know what that is like. Mine never did. And mine, you know, was kind of by choice. They really didn't care too much about money and stuff, right? So, you know, it is what, I don't know. Maybe it's a better thing. Who knows? Why does some DIY electric car people are scared of driving their vehicles because of being sued? And you are not? I don't know. I mean, I'm not really scared of being sued, although I probably should be. But, you know, no, I think with the right insurance, you should be fine. I mean, I guess you could be, like, so I was thinking about that, right? What if someone, like, drives off a cliff and kills himself? then the family want to sue you because they somehow want to claim that it was the car's fault or something. Yeah, I guess it could get sticky, right? But I think there's ways to make these cars really safe. Obviously I wouldn't want to make these like super powerful cars, right? I would more, hinge on the fact that like electric systems are super reliable, right? And then there's low maintenance on them, so they would go on forever. So yeah, I wouldn't put more than like maybe an AC50 on these cars, right? Like I want to put a Model S motor on my bus, well, knowing that it's gonna make my bus more dangerous because the faster it's gonna go. Yeah, that's a really dangerous car. But if I put the right size vehicle, the right size motor or system on my vehicle on a classic car, then you're gonna eliminate some of the shenanigans. You can still drive it as electric, but it's not gonna be a race car. A fleet of these in Hawaii is so you can go to the beach, so you can drive around town and open the windows and open the thing up, and you go put your surfboard on the thing and go surf, and then go and snorkel and drive through Waikiki Beach, that sort of stuff. You don't want them to do donuts and stuff. So there are, obviously I'm thinking about all the angles from that stuff, but I think there's a way. So keeping them from blowing the rentals up, crashing them, or racing them, getting impounded, insurance could be expensive. I like the rental, though. I hope people do it everywhere. Yeah, so again, I think those are all challenges, I think, that have been kind of worked out by many other people, right? Like the exotic, crowd, or, business models that people do or whatever. So, yeah, insurance could be high, but if the car's making money, it's just cost of doing business kind of thing, right? Toyota could outsell you guys. Did you hear about how Tesla is going to allow people to have their cars as self-driving taxis next year? Yes. I've been thinking about starting a fleet. Yes, I think it's very, very exciting. I think if you have money, right? If you have money to invest, I'd say you buy a few Teslas right now, a few Model 3s. Get the base models. Don't go crazy. Maybe get, I don't know. You're getting a lot of them or a few of them. Maybe get all the models. Because the Teslas, I think, if what Elon says is going to happen, actually it happens, then they are the cheapest they're going to be right now. Because as they become more self-driving, then he's going to be increasing the price, and because more and more people are going to want them, right? Imagine if you can turn a button right now and your Tesla could just drive you to the store, right? And you're like, what? And you show your friends, they're all going to want to go and buy one, right? At $38,000 or whatever it is that I ended up paying for mine, they're going to be like, yes, sign me up, But obviously when he turns that button on, then they're not going to be $38,000. They're going to be more like $58,000, $60,000. And so I think whoever buys that right now and buys that feature, then you get in and you get grandfathered into to get at the lowest amount of money when that happens, right? You'll be rewarded for that. Of course, there's some risk in there because that might actually never happen. Or it might happen in next year, it might happen in 5 years, it's not 100% sure that it's going to happen. But if you have money, I think buying a Tesla is a good investment. Anyways, because you could probably put it on Turo and rent it out. Or like I said, you could rent a Tesla, a Model 3 in Maui for like $130 a day or something. Right? I don't know how many. It would be interesting to talk to that guy. I probably should have rented it and kind of interviewed the guy. But I bet you that guy rents it quite a bit, I bet you that's a thing. I actually knew someone that had one of the very early Model 3s, and they were renting it out like crazy. I mean, their payment was like $1,000, and they were making like $3,500 just renting it out, right? For the first like 6 months or something like that. So that guy almost paid half of that car just in that short amount of time. Right? Now there's more of them, but like if you go to like some places like that, I think, you know, there's not. Like when you go places, you have to rent stuff, right? Like it's not like you can bring your own car, right? That's why I think that's a compelling business, you know, case. You're always there to have fun. You're bringing your money because you know Hawaii is expensive, and you know you're gonna have to shell some money. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a thing that I need to look at and see. At the very least, try it. You never know until you try it. I built an e-car for $2,500 before, a 1964 Chevelle. Wow, that's really. How'd you do that for so little money? First accident I had was near ending a Pinto. Glad I'm still alive. Really? Rear ending a Pinto? Yeah, and weren't those right? Like, I have a bunch of videos explaining concepts, and I might actually release like a whole step-by-step video that I was supposed to release like 2 years ago, but I never got to because it was an overwhelming project, right? And now 2 years later, I can revisit that and just finish it, right? I kind of cook my brain trying to get that project done. Then, and, you know, I kind of like just gave up. But now, and it's a step-by-step, literally, like, here's how you buy, here's what you do, here's how you connect this thing, how you connect that other thing. You know, it's like that video, that crucial video that explains how to essentially do from beginning to end, right? And what parts to buy and stuff. So I am helping that. I'm doing what you're suggesting, doing that, right? But yeah, I want to. This goes further, you know, for people that are not, you know, makers, and they just want to drive a thing, want to use a thing, don't want to buy an electric classic car because they're too expensive. You just want to rent it. Would I drive a classic electric rental? Depends on what you mean exactly. But probably not. There you go. See, Herbert Warner's out. Go on Shark Tank. Nah, screw them. I don't need their money. I can do it on my own. I have to give them a percentage of my thing. Ice Tesla. Ooh, you guys are evil. How do you test capacity on 36-volt hoverboard batteries with an XT60 connector? There's a bunch of ways you can. Okay. Yeah, you could just charge it, discharge it, and then just use one of these meters. Do I have one set up here? Where is it at? Oh yeah, I have one here. Okay. Yeah, here's one. Here's one. Get one of these. Model VAT 1100. Ooh, hey, what's up? I don't have nothing for you. Okay, this is a one of these meters. This is the updated version one. Oh, junked it. This is the wireless one, right? And this is the meter, and then this is the shunt. Yeah, and this is the shunt, right? And so you connect your battery pack here, and you charge it, discharge it through that, and this is gonna keep track here. And this can track voltage and can track amp hours and watt hours, and it can like control all kinds of things, control relays. Yeah, get yourself one of these. They're like $30, and you can use this as a meter to meter your battery. You just need to move energy in and out of that battery pack. And you can do that with like a power supply and one of these, for example, right? You can charge it. Then to discharge it, you just put a load, you know, whatever it is. At 36, just get a 36-volt inverter to load it up. Oh, and this is a good one because it even has a thermistor. Oh, thank you. So it's got a thermistor so that you can keep track of your battery temperature. So, yeah, I don't know if I have a link to this because this is the new kind, and I had tried this before and it didn't work, but I think I just got a bad one. So, you know, I'm for sure this one's gonna work. But anyways, if you want to know what that is, Junk Tech. model VAT 1100. That's not gonna happen. So my lens is actually manual, so it won't actually adjust or focus to that. All right, let's read some more questions. I think Tesla should build an electric Model T vehicle. This is better than the news today. Carmen, well, yeah, I'm for sure, right? The news are pretty nasty every day, actually. There's only bad stuff happening. There's a few good stuff, I guess. Tesla would have to pass emissions? Tesla. Yeah, I guess. If you were to tell the DMV that it was a gas converted Tesla, but if you registered to Tesla, then you wouldn't. Ain't that crazy? Let's see. That's the other cool thing about the classic cars is that they don't need to, but they're exempt, right? And so you never have to disclose to the state that you have an actual electric car. Like, the state doesn't know my bus is electric, right? And I'm not. Why am I gonna go on out of my way and change that, right? They're just gonna hit me with a tax. They're just gonna penalize me for not buying gasoline, right? And so I'm not gonna disclose it. I'm not gonna go and change it. And as far as they know, it's just a regular classic car that drives on a gas engine, polluting, right? But because it's so old and it's exempt here in California, anything below 75, I think. Let's see. It's going to be more than a year before self-driving is allowed and acceptable. Yeah, most likely. It's true. As soon as the taxi feature in, they won't need to sell them anymore. They will roll out the depot to be used as the biggest competitor to Uber. It's so weird to think of a car manufacturer that won't be selling cars. I think they're just going to up their prices, right? They're gonna discourage you from buying them by just putting their prices up, and I think they're gonna keep selling them. I think it's just gonna be harder to buy them, right? They're gonna become more, more premium vehicles. Well, I mean, they're gonna be the premium vehicle, right? Because if it will drive for itself, imagine that. There are so many Teslas now on the road. Can we get a video on how to install a somewhat modern cruise control to a DIY EV car? That should be easy. I guess it can get a little bit complicated. So, my system is literally just a pot. It's literally just a potentiometer, right? So, 3-wire potentiometer, and it's a resistive potentiometer. It's a resistive potentiometer. So, yeah, to put a cruise control in that, I think I could just literally, well, because you could override it. Yeah, you could override it. Yeah, I think I could just literally connect another pot in the same wires, put it in my dash, and then, just like turn it. Wait, would that work? I don't know if that would work, right? Because it's the center. No, so that wouldn't work. That would create errors, I guess. So it's just a switch and on a pot. So you basically disconnect the pedal pot, and then you basically connect, like a dash pot that you can like turn until you get your desired speed. Could be as easy as that. Of course, could be a little dangerous. You would have to like build some kind of safety thing, right? That you couldn't just switch that, accidentally turn that switch on while that pot is turned all the way up over here, because then the car would just take off. Be the equivalent of you giving it full throttle or something. But it wouldn't be too hard. Now, the reason why it would get a little bit complex is because some systems, like Teslas, for example, it's more than just a pot, right? It's maybe like 2 or 3 pots put together, and some of them are backwards, right? So as one is turning, ascending, the value is ascending, the other one is descending, right? And so both of them have to check out, right? And I think they do that because they need, it's an important, it's an important variable, right? That there can't be no errors. And so then basically you have several pedals, right? Because several pots in there, and as you're pressing them, they all have to check out. They have to agree with each other. If they don't agree with each other, then the pot it's wrong, right? There's something's giving out or whatever. And then they're not actually resistive pods. They're more Hall effect sensors. So it can get a little bit tricky depending on the system you're using. But yeah, definitely nothing that can be tackled by, a talented person. In my system, it would be super simple. I don't know. I never felt the need to put a thing in there, but if I had to do it, it would be pretty simple for mine. Can we let's see. You can invest in me. I will make a solar power ISIV that you can see the world in, but son, estimated price is $15,000. Ooh, there you go. What do you think of the supercapacitors? I think they're great for capacitors to do capacitor jobs, but yeah, they're terrible batteries, so I'm not super interested in them. Use a 13-inch used forklift motor, and threw in 6 used ADs. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it's a DC version, yeah. 13-inch used forklift motor. The crazy thing is that my bus has a forklift system in there. It's just, a little bit more advanced. And it's a kind of overpriced, right? Because it's a small shop here in California that is designed and wrote the software to make this forklift system into a road vehicle, right? And so basically we're paying like $4,000 for that little system, or AC50, AC51 or something. With the Curtis 1238s or 1239s, I think those are more like $1,000 systems, right? But we're paying $4,000 because we're basically paying for the development for this one person or company to do the hardware and do the implementation of that stuff, right? But yeah, it's $1,000 hardware, right? It's just a forklift system, right? And that's what you use there and stuff, Yes, please, step by step. It's almost done. I finished. I was like probably 90% done, and I quit 2 years ago. And it's there. It's a huge project. I put a ton of work into it, months of work into it, and I never released it. And I think I should just release it. I just do the 10% extra work to do it and finish it and upload it to my channel, and bam. I think I'm gonna do it. Heard it on a solar forum. I think it's crazy to lease anything like this at all. If you own your home or lease solar system and something goes wrong, they have you, kind of. Huh. Whoa. I just jumped. Let's see. Am I falling behind? Please get a treat for the dog. Yeah, these guys, they wanted my attention, and I'm like, get out of here. Changed my mind, Jay, because if I were on vacation and had the chance to rent an electric car, I would do that, as it seems to be an economical idea and clean power. Well, there's too many angles with it, right? There's the clean side, right? There are people that are like, look, while I'm on vacation, I want to do the right thing. I don't want to pollute. Especially like if you go to some beautiful place like these islands, right? You don't want to pollute that island, right? You want to be respectful of that place and be like, look, this is a thing that should be conserved as much as possible for, future generations and stuff. And, driving around a big gas guzzler is not good way to do that, right? Of course, there's a ton of trees there. It's okay. You're not, you're not killing anyone. But if you had a choice, I think convenience, it's a huge part of why we do. We eat meat because it's good, it tastes good, and it's very convenient. If we had to go outside and kill the animals ourselves, half of us probably wouldn't. Right? Half of us would be like, oh my God, I have to kill, like the little piggy there, or the cow, or the chicken, even the chickens, right? You're like, oh Jesus, like, that's all right, just give me some beans. But because it's so convenient, we're just like, yeah, give me the chicken, give me the pork, give me the thing. The same thing with this is like, I think if you make it really convenient for someone to be like, you can rent an electric car, maybe a modern one. Here's a Tesla. If the new Tesla is not your thing, if you like classic cars like me, it's like old that, like, yeah, you're almost, it's better for the environment to use and keep an old car than using a brand new one, right? Because that just means more carbon, emissions that were made to manufacture that car. So there's a bunch of angles that would probably that people would be attractive to that, right? I mean, especially if you're a fan of BWs. And again, like I say, that's just not BWs. I also, it could be Jeeps, old Jeeps, or old. What's the Toyota ones? There's Toyota Land Cruisers, I think. Land Cruisers are the ones that are like super popular. There's some like older ones, pre like emission size. That's the thing. Like, I think classic cars are like a good investment because they keep going up in price. They appreciate as opposed to depreciate like the new cars. So I think from anywhere you look at that, it's a good investment. I think especially for me, 'cause I love doing that. I would love to just pick cool projects and build them and then put them in a fleet, and then there you go, share it with the world. Not just share it in the video form or giving out information. And like, you could literally just drive this thing, come rent it for me when you're on vacation, whatever, the thing. I found a battery pack claiming to be 1 kilowatt hour for around $55. That's literally not possible, right? I'd say that is about 1/3 the price, or about half the price of what you can currently get about one. Yeah, but I mean, it can be possible. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'd have to see what it was. You can get batteries for free, right? Or near free, because people don't know what they have, or they can't use it in the current form or whatever. So they, the values, it's kind of attached to, how usable that thing is, right? And so like Model 3 batteries, a great example of that. They're literally the best battery in the world right now, right? It's the latest technologies, the latest chemistry, the building tech that they use in this thing. Those things are potted with this material that is flame retardant, right? And then it adds like rigidity to the thing, and it's got these fuse links. It's super tight. It's got those water, liquid cooling line. It's a work. It's a piece of work. Artwork. Yet no one knows what to do with them, right? All these people are like, oh, these batteries are great. They're the latest technology. And then they buy a car, they dismantle it, and then they put the modules up on eBay, and no one's buying them because they're like, oh, that's a huge battery module. What is like 90 volts or whatever nominal? You're like, what are we gonna do with that? Like, I can't plug anything in, other than like if you have some crazy like good knowledge of the batteries and stuff, and you have you want to use them in cars or whatever. But like for storage, it's kind of a weird animal. You can't. It's right in the middle. It's too big to. Yeah, right. So, yeah. There could be a battery that's $55 because they don't know how to use it or whatever, or they don't know what they have or whatever. It's possible. I don't know. Without knowing what the battery is, it's kind of hard for me to say. Who won the contest is saying news for. I don't remember who won it, but I never got a response from the guy. So I still have the battery right there. I'm gonna have to give it away again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it away because it's the only fair thing to do. I mean, we made a whole video about giving it away, and Oh, I wonder. Okay, I wonder if I should go to that video and then pick another like a winner from that video, because you guys already did the work, right? It's kind of like an interaction. You were like, you need to like this video, watch it, like it, comment on it. And then a lot of you guys went and did it, and then the guy who won just didn't show up. I don't know. I have no way to contact him, And I made several mentions. I even made a whole video kind of explaining who the winner was. He was probably just a person that was just passing by, and he's like, oh, I'm going to enter this thing. Then he's too busy or not interested. That would be the fair thing to do. You guys kind of enter that thing, and whoever did the thing. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go and pick another winner from that video specifically. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I'll make a little announcement. I'll pick another winner there. There is a tax for electric cars. Not everywhere, but they are going to start taxing electric cars. We live in this kind of community, right? It's like a society where like it costs money to make the machine to make it, go. And so one of those taxes is what they charge you at the gas pump, right? And so if you are all of a sudden now you not paying that tax because you're not consuming that thing, then they're like, hey, well, the only fair thing to do is for you to pay that tax some other place. Even though we're paying plenty of tax for everywhere else, right? But they're going to try to get you. And so, of course, they're going to add that tax to the electric cars because in their eyes, someone's eyes, it's only fair for people with electric cars to pay their fair share for using the roads, for blah, 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 for whatever. All that nonsense. So, yeah, they're going to try to... I know there in some places they're adding tax to electric cars. They're kind of too new yet, but that's going to happen. Unless they don't know that you don't have an electric car. Did you convert... Wait, if you DIY convert to EV, can drive in a carpool lane? No. So the state, obviously, they're... it's like a club, right? It's like a social club. So, if you belong there, and only, big people with big money belong to that club, like Elon and, the other people that have their multi-billion-dollar corporations. So they get all those tax breaks, right? Those are not awarded to the rest of us. We're just nobodies, right? So, if I know someone that has found a way to bug them enough to get this stuff, right? Like the Selectric, David Bernardo did it, so he's got a little Selectric DIY electric car that he did, and he was able to get the state to actually give him, the stickers or whatever. So that's cool, I guess. So you can do it. It is possible, right? If you have the right connections or the right motivation to not take no for an answer. Who go to your... We're doing... okay, let's see. I hear a motorcycle outside. Your mic is picking that up. Yeah, there's probably... my brain just kind of... I want the new BW bus. I have to see it in person to get excited about it. Actually, I have seen it in person. I'm not excited about it. I don't know. It'll be a while before... here's the thing. I wasn't really too excited about the Model 3. It's... Comparing to the Model S, it's like, this is a little car. It's kind of plain. It's an electric car. It goes... But as it turns out, it kind of grows on you. You're like, man, this car is pretty amazing. The technology... the design, the shape, even though the air conditioner sucks because I'm always hot, there are a few shortcomings, but as a whole thing, people are saying this is the best car in the world. And I mean, I don't know. What do I know, right? I drive an old minivan. So yeah, it kind of grows on you. I don't know, maybe the new electric bus from VW, maybe it's gonna grow on me. One day I'm like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I think I used to think Mustangs were the ugliest cars in the world too. The classic '60s Mustangs. Now I think they're beautiful cars, right? So maybe one day it'll grow on me. What do you think of the new 26650 cells on battery hookup? I like the 2850. So excited about lithium iron phosphate because the energy density is not there, right? And so, it's great for storage, right? And so, yeah, you're doing that. Except these are kind of not optimized for storage. They're kind of optimized for electric vehicles because, or power applications. But of course, you don't have to use them in power applications. If the price is right and there's enough quantities, you can use them for storage. But yeah, I tend to kind of reserve my excitement for Model 3 packs at this point, because the energy density is crazy high, the packaging is amazing, and I have to figure out how to use those for storage because there's just going to be millions of them. I mean, literally, we're going to be swimming in them. Like we don't know what to do with them. There's already too many of them. If you just go to eBay, they're everywhere there. Who gets the DUI if you were driving an autonomous car? Well, no, because the car has to be impaired, and if you're not driving the autonomous car, then the car's not impaired. No one gets the DUI. That's the right answer there. Woo! Just stick a pull cable to your throttle. Yeah, you can also do that. Also add a normally closed switch to the brake pedal. Do the cruise shuts off when you brake? Yeah. So the way I understand it, at least on these systems like mine, which is the Curtis 1238 and probably a 1239 because they work kind of similar and they're made by the same guy, right? The software that wrote the same guy that wrote the software. Brake is always a deduction of throttle. So if you have 100% throttle, when you apply the brake, then it takes away from that. It steps down, right? So it's never gonna really fighting each other, right? So you can press the pedal, the brake pedal, and you can apply 100% reduction on your throttle, which means the car won't stop going. And if you can keep going and go past 100%, you could probably go, negative 100%, which then it's actually braking with the motor. As far as I understand. So it's designed that way so that it's like the motor is not actually, fighting itself. Imported a Chinese inverter, got robbed. Whoa. Instead of renting out electric cars, train people to build to power walls, sell them and install them, even branch out into solar panel installation for a package. Yeah, no, I don't. I have no interest in like manufacturing things. And I'm already doing that. I'm kind of teaching people how to build power walls. It's kind of a weird thing, but if you were to read like the emails that I read every day, there's tons of people that are like building stuff, right? And they attribute stuff to me, which is kind of weird because I'm like, whoa. It's weird because I'm not even there. Like I'm going super slow in my projects, right? Because I'm like, I gotta look at this from every angle and make sure the thing is right and it makes sense. And then you guys are just running. You're like, oh, that's how you're gonna do it. Boom. Next thing you know, you're sending me pictures of your systems and they're running. So, I don't know if I'm just kind of conservative at this point because I have so many eyes on me now, right? And that's kind of like working against me, right? I don't want to make a huge mistake that is going to affect potentially a bunch of people. And so that's why I think I'm kind of slowing down in the speeds and what I'm doing. I mean, even this last video that I did, right? Kind of second thoughts, because I'm showing you guys how to do something that, you know, is potentially illegal in a lot of places, right? And I'm not really touching on that. There's one of the big questions is like, how does your utility allow you to do this, you know? And I'm like, well, actually, it's not. You kind of have to do it on the lowdown. Or you have to live in a place where maybe it's not illegal, right? But as far as I know, I don't know all the legalities. The case everywhere, I don't know, because I don't live everywhere, and I haven't talked to an expert, and I haven't done the research, right? I don't have the time to do that research because I'm so involved in the tech part of this projects, right? So I'm like, I can't really tell you. I can't say like, go do this thing, right? Because it might not be allowed. But at the same time, there are, you know, thousands of these things being sold on Amazon, and they're not UL approved, and that means that they're not getting approved. And so what are they doing? They're either sitting on thousands of people's shelves, or the people are just plugging them in, right? And they're saying like, we're not going through that process. We're just plugging one little solar panel into the wall and it's doing its thing, you know? And so it is possible, right? But I kind of have to be careful and like not promote some and suggest or recommend people to do illegal stuff, for example, right? So that's kind of one of the examples of how it's preventing me from maybe going as fast as I want to in some of these Powerwall projects, right? So now I know that when I say things and people are paying attention and people are gonna run with it. So, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit, responsible and not be too crazy, right? A little bit of craziness is okay. Too crazy, nah, not good. Not extremes. Family, Betancourt, thank you for the thing. Would you think about doing DIY videos showing how to replace UPS battery with the LiPo 4, complete with testing? I have 2 UPS and would love to. I kind of already did that with the 36 volt versions. Look at that video that I did for Puerto Rico. I think it's called like this $400 system is gonna power homes in Puerto Rico or something like that. Essentially, that's what I did. I took a 36 volt, UPS, right? It's that one that's up there. You can see it up there. And then I took these battery packs from the hoverboard, and I'd show you how to, cut the wires, do the thing, connect them, then how to charge those batteries by using like a solar charge controller, and then like that whole thing. I also did that. That's actually one of my systems that is working here. That box right there. It's actually a 1,000 or 1,300 watt UPS, 36 volt UPS that I took out of the casing, out of the original thing, and then I use hoverboard batteries. So there's actually there's a UPS and hoverboard batteries inside this box, and that box right there is my backup power wall right now. So if the power were to go out here, everything would stay on here, like my computer, my lights, my thing, it would stay on because this is set up as a backup right now, right? At one point this was running a much bigger battery and I was running more things off of it, but of course because I'm always experimenting, then I'm always changing, right? Eventually I got rid of those batteries, so these boxes are kind of empty right now because I'm working on the next version of that, which is gonna include my boards, right? The version 2 of my battery of my Powerwall is gonna have my system, is gonna be up there, and it's gonna be much bigger than those. And so that's why now this is kind of a smaller thing. But I never really quite did a video on that because I kind of already did it over there, but it's the same thing, right? And so, yeah, go look at that video, see if you can follow the thing and kind of understand the concepts about it. It's not that hard. You have to make sure, and find out what your UPS, what's the voltage. If you're gonna be doing a 12 volt UPS, like the smaller ones, then you're gonna have to use LiPo 4 cells, right? Yeah, LiPo 4. Which I guess you could also do that with the 24 volt and 36 volts or 48 volts, right? So you could just keep adding cells in series, make a battery pack. I would suggest you do, smaller packs that have an integrated BMS, because then that's easy. you put it in there, you make that pack, and then you connect a bunch of them parallel, and then that they'll manage themselves as individual packs. That works, pretty reliably. Like, these are hoverboard packs, right? These are the infamous battery packs that were catching fire, and here they are. I've been using them now for 2 years, and they're perfectly safe. I have these inside my home. Yeah, they're inside a metal box there or whatever, so there's some level of safety in there, right? But at no point do I feel like I'm in any danger and stuff, because they all have a little BMS. I'm not stressing them out. I designed a system where like they can push enough power. I'm not overloading the thing here. It just runs basic loads here, right? That if my power, and by the way, my power has gone, and I have used this system. It's been like, I can work in here. I can keep doing my thing. So yeah, at this point, my power walls are many different kinds and stuff, and I don't always make a full video on all these systems because for various reasons, right? Because it kind of has to be like a complete system, or I don't know. I just always kind of hit the priority thing, you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it's like, this is not a thing that kind of aligns a thing with what I'm doing or what I'm pushing or what was available, That's another big thing why I don't just do like videos where I'm just showing you how to use a weird thing. So now I'm rethinking of using those cells for my bus, right? I just spent a bunch of money on those cells, and they're like premium cells. They're like the most energy dense. But then I'm like, I'm gonna show you how to use these cells that no one can buy, because it was a one-off thing. It was a pallet that we found somewhere, and maybe there's no more. I'm like, I'm not interested in doing that, right? Because then it's gonna counterproductive. You guys are gonna be like, well, where do we get the cells, And so I'd rather use a cell, for example, in a system that could be repeatable, that I can be like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do this thing, and if you're interested in doing it, go. Here are the links. You can go buy it. You can order this from here. You can order that from there. It's a system. It's a thing that you can just do. Because I'm interested in helping people not just, be entertained but by a project or whatever, but also like actually join me in the revolution, right? Do the thing yourself. And so that's kind of a reason why sometimes I don't put everything that I do into video form. Can you convert an automatic to electric? Yes, you can, but I don't think you would want to. Remember, an automatic is it's just literally a transmission that shifts by itself, right? The thing is, it needs to shift. You need to have a lot of gears in a car, an ICE engine, because the torque is such narrow RPM, right, range. With electric motors, that range is increased so much more that you can literally just run like Teslas, right? The torque is spread out through a vast range of RPMs, from 0 RPMs all the way to like 16,000 RPMs. That's why you don't need more gears than that, right? You have a lot of torque at the beginning. You have enough torque at the top end. It's fine, Maybe it's not going to win races. Maybe it's not going to beat a Ferrari, after like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour or whatever, because it kind of tapers off over there, right? But if you were to put a second gear there, man, the Teslas would be a beast. Would just be unbeatable. Nothing would be able to touch them. But of course, they're not building, racing cars, so they're building a thing that can use. So yeah, you could do that, but you most likely you would end up just like not using the what is it, the torque converter, or whatever the thing that makes it where like it changes the gears by itself. That adds a lot of complexity, and you don't really need it. So you probably can just leave the transmission there, choose a gear that's in the middle, somewhere in the middle range of that motor, so that you can have a quick enough takeoff, but you could also, have enough headroom to hit their top speed or whatever. So yeah, you could do it. People have done it. People have built like little systems to run the whatever, the little servos or whatever those things are called, to change the gears, but most of the time you don't need to. Also add a normally closed switch to the brake pedal to shuts off when you brake. Imported. Okay, so I kind of read those already. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Bought a multimeter. I used two 1000 VA to power PC and router. BM 12 volts, then of course that's 4S. If you're doing 24 volts, 8S. If you're doing 48 volts, because most likely that's what you're doing. If you're around 1000, then you're doing 48. What is that? So that's 8 times 2, that's 16, right? So 16S. So make sure you get a 16S BMS, right? And then you build your pack, either a 1 or 16S 1P or 16S 2P or whatever it is that you want to make. And then you make that into a pack that has the BMS board in there included. That's one little pack. You need more capacity, then you just add more, right? And you can make one big pack, right? But you gotta be able to support the BMS. I actually just ordered a BMS that will do like 350 amps or something like that, and it's it's a typical version, where like the little ones or whatever. And I think it goes anywhere to like up to 24 volts in series or something like that. Someone sent me a link and I thought, oh, this seems interesting, so I just ordered it. It should be on the way. So if it works out, I think I'm gonna give it a try on some of these projects that I'm trying out here. I'll make a video about that and then suggest that BMS. Of course, it would work. I don't know if it's the same one. Yeah, maybe I can find the version that is for the lithium iron phosphate. And if it's not that exact BMS, then we could suggest another one. And the principles are the same or whatever. It works the same. Let's see here. Until they don't, how do you do the batteries you're using for everyday project? The community also needs to think about recycling. Build a repeatable product. Yeah, that's essentially what I have to do. Click the like thumbs up button. Oh yeah, do click the like button over here. Let's beat the haters. Look at those haters. There's 3 thumbs down. Let's overwhelm them with thumbs up. Those jerks. No shifting required, only to hit the high speed start and start in 4th gear. Sure would like another chance at that battery. Wind turbine and solar closet is on hold, lacking a real battery. Ooh. Did you participate in that video? You might win it. Pulse jet. Could be manual 2-3 speed with clutch, non-automatic. Yeah, and you could definitely just like use that. Although I don't know, how does that work? Because you wouldn't be able to shift the gears, but you would be able to leave that gear on there, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of ways you can do it. How do you know what the batteries are not going bad on your power walls? Well, I literally don't know if they're not going bad, right? But I also don't have a reason to believe that they are going bad, right? So usually the reason why batteries will go bad is through some form of event, something where like they over discharge or overcharge, right? And even though I don't know that that is not happening, there is no reason to indicate that that is happening, right? Usually, their load is pretty minimal. It's like going up and down a little bit. Sometimes I disconnect it for various reasons. Thank you. And so I know that they're discharging, right? But then, I eventually like connect it or whatever, or the unit just turns off. And then, so here's the thing, like the system's designed, and I kind of tested all this stuff. The system will shut itself down to protect the batteries well before the batteries are in any like real danger, right? And then at the same time, at the top, it's the same thing, right? They don't get overcharged. It kind of charges to a point where like it's like, so because that system was like that, then the likeliness of those batteries going bad is very low, right? And so it could be possible, but it's very unlikely. It's the same thing how I'm driving my car without a BMS. Can one of those batteries go crazy and, you know, one day blow up or whatever? Yeah, it's possible. Very unlikely though. Again, because of the way I designed that system and the way that I'm using it, it's just I'm going easy. I'm staying within the parameters that I need to stay to keep them safe. So yeah, I think a lot of you guys kind of worry too much about the battery's going bad. It's actually, you know, it's kind of rare when you design a system correctly. And I realize some of you guys have to because you're using maybe batteries that are not as high quality as maybe mine, right? I'm using some Tesla batteries in my bus that were perfectly balanced. They're almost brand new, right? They've been sitting on the shelf for a while, but they're brand new, and you know, so I'm like, well, yeah, I have the luxury to like not have to worry about them because they're literally, gosh, high quality premium cells, right? That are really good. If you guys don't have that, then yeah, you guys have to invest more time into kind of managing them, right? And that's why I kind of understand that the BMSs are needed. Not everyone has the same access to the same batteries as me. Not everyone is constantly checking the batteries like me. Maybe not everyone understands the concepts as good, you know. So yeah, definitely those are all recipes for like putting you in a good place where you need to have some kind of device that is checking, like a BMS. And so yeah, they're so easy to use now. They're everywhere. You know, you should just use them. I think the room you're in looks so cool. Serious man cave. That power wall enclosures are so dope. Yeah, those are all gonna change too. I'm gonna put these big ones. So 2 of those ones in there. But I'm kind of looking for a cover because I don't have the right cover in there, and it's kind of hard to find. If you know someone that can make that cover for me, it's big. I mean, you're talking about 14, so it's like 30. I don't know. What is it? Let's measure this. Let's measure it. Where are you? Oh, I don't have it. I can't find the thing. I don't know where my tape measure is at. It's somewhere in here. Somewhere in this mess. But yeah, it's big, and I need to find it, and I need to make it cool so that, oh my god, the battery's about to die. Let me take a quick thing, and what time is it? Okay, yeah, and then we'll come back and finish this thing. Quick break. You want to see what 10 kilowatts looks like on a meter? Let's make a power wall. Positive. No! Alright, this guy wanted to be part of the stream. He wanted to get up here, and he wants to, literally wants to bite my face off. Don't do that. That's my face. Don't do it. Okay? Be nice. Alright. This guy's crazy. Okay, let's, where were we? We back? Whoa. Here we go, just change. Imagine it's probably 24 volts, so 8S for lithium. Yeah, I guess it could be, right? Because I do have a 13 or 1200 VA one that is 36, which was really rare. I mean, I looked everywhere for it because it needed to be 36, right? For good of mankind. Can't believe I hadn't liked already. Come on, J Biggs, we gotta like this video. Here's the helpful information. What's that 1300 watt UPS next to you have that you mentioned? Wait, what's that? 1300? Yeah, I have a 1300 watt UPS that's sitting there as on my kind of my backup for my office here, and for a long while I was actually kind of forcing that to deplete the battery, right? So I was charging that batteries via solar, and then oh, and look at that. For some reason the fan on that thing was going and it just stopped. That's so nice. It's so quiet now. You guys hear the difference? That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, it's just a UPS. It's I don't remember at the top of my head. Do I have that linked on my thing? I think it might be linked on my kit.com. I have a battery with ton of solder, but none of my soldering irons can melt the glob. How do you desolder it? Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. You cut it away. You drill it out. You heat it up and then you blow it away. Oh, you use the wicker, cable thing, maybe. I don't know. It's tough. Sometimes it's really tough to get the stuff, especially if it's tied into like a big, chunky like piece of aluminum or, piece of copper or something that just takes all the heat and just robs all the heat. Yeah, it could be tough. There are a bunch of bird scooters going on auction next month near me. They have several hundred. I really want those batteries. I wonder how much they go for. Yeah. I know. Aren't those going? Aren't those catching fire all of a sudden? Or at least I've seen a couple stories. I don't know if it's the same one. I wouldn't pay more than like $30 for those batteries, okay? They're good batteries. Well, they can be good batteries with like Panasonic 18650Bs or BDs, right? But there also could be like those EVA Chinese cells, right? Which I don't know how good they are, but those are like 2600 milliamp hours. So yeah, just make sure you make sure you don't pay too much for them. And they come in that 36 volt configuration also. And if they're used, they might be really beat, right? So I don't know, like take one, buy one, test it, see how the capacity of those cells are, because they could be just ruined. So you might not want to pay too much for that. My Powerwall has been awesome. Sonata 5300 hold a lot of power for their size. Yep, those are good batteries. Are you held hostage? Let's see. Yeah, I'm a hero. I don't know if I'm a hero, but I definitely have inspired a lot of people. And I'm not just saying that to, I get to read. It's actually kind of humbling. It's like, you're like, what the? How? You guys are just building a lot of stuff. There's a ton of them. At this point now, there's like 16,000 of these out there. You guys are building a lot of battery packs with these guys. And so, it's crazy. It's crazy that you guys are just going with it. And there's some big projects, there's some little projects. There's even the guy that is getting submitted to the U.S. Air Force, right? If this becomes mil-spec, it's going to be crazy, because then it's going to gain some legitimacy, right? There are still people who think that's a stupid idea. Oh, boards with the holders? Oh, come on, And in some ways it is, right? Don't get me wrong. But in some ways it isn't. There are a lot of applications that, require some, maybe, some answers or some systems that might in other applications seem ridiculous, right? And so I think people that are usually like, that's stupid. Then they lack, they lack vision. They lack perspective. And so that's okay. I kind of, I'm in a place in my life where I can understand that, and I can not hold it against you, kind of thing. I'd just be like, okay, watch me. These things are never, no one's going to use them. Okay, watch me, how get a bunch of people using these, and then talk to me later. Talk to me in 2 years when all the DIY firewalls are there. How can I participate in the contest? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I will make, so here's what happens. All these live streams, it's taking me longer to make these videos, right? I'm kind of lagging behind. I'm making these videos like better, big, making less videos, which is not a great thing, but for some reason it's happening. Now, I do these live videos every week. Almost, I tried to like not let anything get in the way. But these are like 2-hour long videos, and a lot of people are like, you guys obviously know what these are about. You guys join, you guys come here. But there's a lot of occasional views that, that viewers that just come and they're like, what is this too? So anyways, because that was causing a little bit of problems and a lot of like thumbs down and a lot of stuff, negative interactions with like, occasional viewers, I've been like making them unlisted. And so once they get kind of old, like a couple of weeks, then I just like, unlist. So that video where the winner's at, it's unlisted right now. So I will make it public again, right? I remember to do that tonight. And then you guys can go, and it's like, what's it called? Can I look that up? I should be able to. With my brand new computer that's got the power to not freeze anymore when I'm looking at 2 screens. Okay, YouTube. Let's see here. In fact, let's make it live right now so you guys can go and like it. Come on! It says a problem. This page is reloaded because of a problem occurred. Yes, it didn't load correctly. Come on. Let's see. Okay, we'll go to channel. By the way, while this is happening, let me put one of those pictures of that bus so you guys can get an idea. Yeah, look at that one. I want that bus. Tell me that's not a cool bus. Tell me that's not a cool bus. Okay, so then I go to my YouTube channel, studio. We'll make it live right now so you guys can go and like and comment on it, and then I'll pick a new winner from there. Videos. Give me the videos. So it's called, it's gonna be a live video, right? The winner. Oh, okay. So it's called public. Okay, so it's called 300,000 sub giveaway. Save. There we go. I just made it public, and you guys can now go and check it out. Alrighty. Hopefully I didn't. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's check out the next bus. Man, look at that. Although that's a little bit less cool. Oh, look at that. Wow. I mean, look at those guys. Amazing buses. All right, there we go. We're back. There you go. So it's called 300. Oh, I should have linked it. I didn't get the thing. Just go look for it. It's a 300,000 subscriber giveaway or something like that. That's what it's called. A gas tank is more likely to catch fire. That's true. I enjoy watching videos. Thank you for watching my videos. Don't buy solder sucker. Those things suck. Yes. Don't worry about it once in a lifetime fire. I was just wondering because it was happened to me last time, but it makes sense now. Why can't we build a fully manageable all-in-one module for charging and management? You can't. And I guess that is the whole thing that we're trying to do. I can do foot by 10. Like a radius on top. Man, come on. Where is my thing? I can give you the thing, man. The thing. Okay, so it's 42 inches tall. Gosh, where is that thing? I want to drag you guys while I'm looking for my thing. Is it over here? No, it's not in this room. They stole it. Let me just quick look over here and then figure it out. Okay, found it. So this thing, yeah, it's 29 inches across by 42 inches tall, right? And it's 4 inches deep. So what did I say? 29 inches by 42 inches by 4 inches. That's what I want. And you know, it's like either if you know, I don't know, if I want to make them, if I wanted to make them like the Tesla ones, they're usually rolled like, you know, round on the top and the bottom, and then the sides have these like plastic things. Or I can do this way. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, but we have to kind of make that thing out of sheet metal. I'm thinking like, you know, like 20 gauge sheet metal, which is like, you know, what the cars are made out of kind of thing. And then we can powder coat them, you know, like whatever color we want, and you can put, you know, some kind of sheen in there and shiny. That would be awesome. This is what I want to do. Whoa, okay, here we go. Man. 9/11 is my birthday. Real batteries. First thing I'm buying some batteries. Whoa. Nice buzz. So if already commented the problem, we do it again. No, do it again. Whatever. It'll just pick random. I'm going to use like a random thing that is just going to look at all the comments and then pick a random one. So I think you better your odds, I think, if you have more than one. But of course, don't go crazy and just like put 20, you know, like 100 comments in there. Oh no, wait. The bus is still up? The bus is still up. Okay. I guess I forgot to click on that thing. All right. But you guys could hear me, right? That have made a solar powered camper on that platform. Yeah, that's an awesome bus. In some ways, that bus is much better than mine, but in some ways, it's not. On practicality, if for rent, for everyday like people to use it and whatever, that's a much better bus. Better suspension. The ergonomics are worked out much better. So it's good stuff. Change the camera. We can't see you. Can't find the bus. There we go. Yeah, you guys were commenting on it. I was into EVs, but that killed me on EVs altogether 4 years ago. I've never found an answer to this question. What about having a 120 to 240 transformer? Would it work for grid tie or regular inverter, especially since the frequency changes slightly? Well, it depends what you're trying to do. Like, why are you trying to make 120 to 240? It would work, but I mean, yeah, it would work. And the frequency, how would that work? I'd have to look about on the frequency, right? Because yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same frequency, right? It's going to, I don't know. So I do know that like 3-phase, for example, they have to be offset by, 20 degrees or 30 degrees. I don't remember how many degrees. So that show equipment kind of uses that and stuff. So they have to have the right timing for this machinery, for these motors to work. But on a split phase, I think it's just the same frequency, right? I don't know what would happen with the center tap, how does that work? I'm gonna have to do some research on that. How does it deal with the frequency? When one is going forward, the other one's going back, but what is the neutral doing? Is the neutral following one or the other? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to see it. But yeah, you could use 120 to 240 transformer, but I don't know in what application you would need that for. It would be kind of like weird. It would add some inefficiency to the system, right? Because transformers are not the most efficient things. Yeah, did we change that? Yeah, we did change that. Okay. I mean, look at that. I've been kicking the idea around for building a circuit board running an STM32 processor with a Python for the DIY Powerwall you made. It would ultimately be a cloud connected Powerwall. Yeah, that would be awesome. I am going to experiment with some here, and I keep showing these eventually, right? Like there are a bunch of these little, it's a bunch of these cloud like connected or Wi-Fi based switches and stuff. But these are just basically on off, or they're just like remote switches. There's another one over there. I have a couple of those. Yeah, here's another one. Wi-Fi switch module. It's just on off. But yeah, some other thing that you could do more than just on off. Maybe you can throttle the thing. There are these inverters that have a pot, and you can set the level, right? So imagine that if you can say hey, my Powerwall is gonna run out of battery, right, for whatever reason, or let me throttle down. Yeah, there's a lot of applications, so it would be cool. Do it. I don't know anything about coding and about that level of electronics, right? So that's why I'm not taking that project myself. But if you do it, I'd get behind it. I'll get behind it. Let's see. But a solar power camper, you use the space on the sides and on the back to make a panel that folds together like a flower when you park on harvesting the sun. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I thought about doing that. So everybody knows that little flower thing, that video, right? I'm like, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna DIY that thing so I can get some views. Right? 'Cause, I mean, it would go viral, I think it would go viral. Wow, it's a good chance of going viral. If I were to, I'm gonna show you how to do this thing, because I think that's just like a prototype. I don't think that's like a real product that exists that you can buy. It's just one of these things that someone made, and then they made that video, and then it's like no one can buy it. So if I were to show you how to do it, I'm like, here you are. They didn't make it available, but I'm making it available. Okay, let's see. The worry words. Yes, there can be life without a BMS. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird to promote that, though, right? Most people are not. Maybe they're not in the right place to live the BMS free life. So that's why I'm like, just use the BMS. That's my official stance now. It's a radio live stream. Let's see. Good night. Okay, so Mike J is gone. Yeah, but I was trying to see you describing your cover so I can get it designed and cut. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what I was talking about, where like it has like a, like, I don't know, maybe like a 1 inch radius on the top and at the bottom. So it's like round on top and bottom and then flat on the sides. And then we can make some covers out of like some plastic stuff, right? But I'm not, 100% sold on that, whatever. It could also be round on the edges and then we can do the things flat or whatever. 20 gauge. I was thinking like 20 gauge steel. And those are the sizes I posted them there. 29 by 42 by 4. That's essentially what I want. And here's the thing. If you can make them, I'm looking for someone that can make them, and then I can just like link to them, right? I can get mine and, use them for my thing and show them in the video, and then go buy them from this guy, you know what I mean? Like, and you can get a bunch of business from that. That's a possibility, you know what I mean? Because if there's enough people that would want one of those things to make it look cool or whatever, so there's an opportunity there. They're coming. Let's see. Oh, so two face are 180 out. Wait, but that's two phase. How about split phase? Because that's just one phase. Is that also 180 out from each other? What is the neutral then? That means it's not 100. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I'm kind of confused in my head right now. Cloud Powerwall. Yes, let's make that happen. What kind of charger do you use for charging the Samba? That's an Elcon charger. Those are like awesome. I didn't like them before, but now they're kind of big, but that's cool because they're tough. They're like workhorses. They just don't give up. And you set them, right? And they're not like, you gotta send them. You can press the button and some lights. There's some way to like adjust. And you can have the factory like program like 10 different profiles. And the way that they're typically doing, at least EV West, what they do is they do 10 profiles, all like 3.7 volt separated, right? So it's like you can go like, oh, I have 30 cells and here is the perfect voltage for that. Oh, it's like I want to be more conservative, so then you just like do like 3.7 volts like lower or higher, right? And then you can be more conservative, or you can add, or you add another battery, whatever. Anyways, you have like 10, and you can choose them. So it's got a little bit kind of confusing, but like those are tough, and they're cool chargers. They work at 110, they work at 220. They have them starting from 700 watts, 750 watts, all the way to like 6 kilowatt or something. But that's a massive unit, right? They're kind of big. But they have these big fans and they kind of make noise or whatever, but they're, you don't need to run anything, because there are some other chargers that are more advanced or smaller or whatever. Then you have to run all these cooling systems and stuff, right? And they can get complex. I mean, it's cool because then you can stuff more charger for weight and size, but it's more complex because then you got to figure out how to run the pump while the charger's on, and, a little bit more complex than that. But these are cool. Elcon chargers. Go to evwest.com. I think they have them. They have them there. They'll offer them, and they can go all the way down to 48 volts. So they're great for a big Powerwall. If I ever installed, whenever I'm finished with my big Powerwall, I might, depending on what. I think my next video I want to talk about how to add a battery to a Powerwall. Right? There are a few schemes depending on the different solar systems that you'd have, and there's different ways that you can do it, and I'm going to explore those, kind of just an idea, and the same thing with little sketches and stuff, right? But I myself have not decided which of those systems I am going to try first. Yeah, but I do have, I have equipment to make both of those systems. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe once I make that video, it will be easier for me to decide which scheme it's the better Powerwall for me. Yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned for that video. um, so neutral is neutral, nothing changes. Oh, I see. So that's what happens. Yeah, it would have to be, because, right? Because basically the one face is going this way, back and forth, 60 times a second. But then the center, but wouldn't the center also have to be? That means only the hot leg is going back and forth? I don't know. That seems kind of weird. I think the frequency should stay the same. The main difference between the regular and the grid tie. Just curious because 120 inverters are everywhere. Oh, I see. Yeah, that is true. 120 inverters are everywhere. Except when you go to AliExpress, you can buy them for half the price and you can get the 220 volt ones too. So I just order some from there, and then that's kind of what I'm doing or whatever. Linked to the same bus bar. Will the BMS control both? No, not really. So basically a BMS is kind of a switch, right? And whatever's on this side of the switch, then it's control, right? And so if anything happens, then it'll turn off from this point on. But the other pack that is connected before that doesn't get affected by that. So the BMS can be protecting your battery, right? That it has the BMS, right? The integrated BMS. But your other battery, no, it's not doing anything. It's just, the other battery's just there to tagging along. And so it could be being overcharged or over discharge, or it can go wildly unbalanced. Yeah, so no, it's that's not how that works. So you have to have a BMS connected, between your battery and your load and your charger. Sometimes there are different schemes where you can bypass the BMS either on the charge or on the discharge, and there are compelling reasons to do that, in different applications. Hell yes, I drive a classic retro EV. There we go. Keep up the great work. Tyler, thank you for that. Can't find the giveaway video? Yeah, it's there. I just made it available. It's like a month ago, maybe. It's like 300,000 subscribers. Let me see. I can link it. I think I can just link it. We have the technology. 926. Man, that is a good looking bus. Keep looking at that. I'm always, originally I wanted to buy one of those buses instead of the split windows, right? And my brother's like, you're crazy, that's not a good bus, those are not cool. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. Okay, if you want to get into a bus, but you don't have maybe the split window money, you can pick those up. These ones, the bay windows, you can pick them up for a lot. You can pick one up running and with like semi-decent, paint job and, and semi-decent interior. It's one you could just drive around and fix it as you go kind of thing for like 10 grand. There's several of them in the Samba right now. The Samba.com. So those are also appreciating. The more you wait, you buy one right now for 10 grand, right? Like, I guarantee you in 20 years, in 10 years from now, you can sell that for more than 10 grand. You would be able to probably sell it for $20,000. It's a good investment. Like classic cars. Okay, so there's the link to the video. I just put that's the video. The flower solar thing is real. We have one in the next town to me, at a place that sells solar panels and pellet stoves. Really? So that's real? Huh. That's interesting. I gotta look at it. The micro Python boards are great. I'll get back to you on it. I'll plug it in via USB and drag and drop code. Could essentially be open for upgrades, monitoring, and how much money and savings. Yeah, that would be crazy to do, like a bunch of like little things that can show you stuff. How well do 5300 milliamp cells play with 2500 milliamp cells when making a power wall with multiple battery packs. If they're in, if you have several packs that are of different sizes but they're in parallel, they just don't care. They all work together. They all work just don't put them in series, because then that's where the real trouble begins. But in parallel, they do fine. First battery pack with pouch cells. Home almost burnt my BMS. What? Oh, Crystal's watching. Oh, great. She's watching. Don't say anything about Crystal. I would just stick to Wi-Fi though. 16S 48 volt 400 amp prismatic lithium battery bank. What's the max I can charge overnight? What? I don't know. I mean, you can probably charge it 100% if you have a big enough charger. Greg Young says, did you see that I mentioned about microinverters were limited their power with another interface? No, I did not see that, Greg. I wonder which ones you were talking about. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Quick break. All right, there we go. She just basically Crystal's saying that I need to end this already. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's just get to the last few and then we'll end this guy. The Habes are sitting around. I don't know. No. Okay. We're on the same wavelength. That's another one. Okay, you guys are talking stuff over here. Grumpy says, I don't use BMS at all. I just build packs that are no larger than 8S. Hook up separate set LiPo leads. Oh yeah, yeah. With an RC charger, you could just balance them every time you charge. That's one way to do it, and that's cool. Look at that. Richard and Stanley hit me up on GitHub. Let's make this happen. Here's the beginning of the next module, the smart module for our batteries. Dude, yeah, I get behind it. You guys do the work, I'll do all the promotion and make it happen for everyone. Let's do it. All right, I think we're gonna call it quits here. It's 9:32 and I started, yeah, it's 2 hours. Yeah, man, this is it. It's long. It's a long time. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for all your encouragement and your participation. If you want to be part of that giveaway, go to that video that I link here and then comment. I'll redo the whole thing, right, where I pick the random thing and comment, and then we'll pick a new winner. That battery, it's still sitting there. Shouldn't be sitting there. It's a giveaway. Celebrating the 300,000 subscribers. At this point, we're, what, 100? What are we at? I don't know, 100 and something thousand. I don't know, 300 and something thousand. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for this. Like the video, watch the thing, build a project. That's the best way that you can do here and join us in the revolution. Post time. I will see you guys in the next video. And I will figure out why these little videos are not shuffling. It's just playing the same one over and over again. Again, thank you. 313,000. There you go. We'll get there pretty soon. Duplicate sources scenes. No, I don't like to do that. Oh, is that what it says? Swap preview output scenes after transitioning. Yeah, I think that's what I need, right? Okay, let's see here. All right. So how much does this Powerwall cost? Let's do a rundown on the prices of all the components. First, we have the solar charge controller available for $38.99, the bidirectional meter at $29.99, non-interruptible power supply available for $30. The battery modules are $50 each. There's 10 of them, so it's $500 in total. The 32-inch metal box is $59.22. A fuse holder is $682. The battery management system, the long ones are $14 each, and the main unit is like $200, so it comes down to a total of $342. All of these components come to a grand total of $1,008 US. You can find the links for all these parts on the description of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos, all having to do with DIY renewable energy. Let's see if the improvements that we made to it are gonna make it go fast. Let's see if it'll burn rubber. Hold on. As you guys know, classic cars have really bad brakes. Usually it's because it's all technology, right? It's drum brakes from the 50s, especially like this one right here, right? And so they just don't cut it for modern times. And so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna change that and put disc brakes. Alright, here's what we're replacing them. We're replacing them with two custom-made front hubs milled out of a billet aluminum, right? One big chunk of aluminum by Wagons West out in Oregon. Alrighty. It's like a little mini rim inside. Let me tell you, it's night and day from the original drum brakes that this thing has. I'm here at the EV show, San Marcos, California. It's got Tesla batteries in there. Let's see, it's charging. What's it putting in? Oh my God, it's charging at 32 amp, 243 volts. Wait, what? Okay. Yes. Wow, this thing is actually charging. Oh yeah. No way. That's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. It just adjusted to follow the sun. The sun's there. Now the panels are facing it. Empty. What's going on here? Let's talk about the EV West M3.
I'm Michael Breen with EV West, and 7 years ago we started our little electric car speed shop so we could help people make classic cars go faster. At the time we were looking around for venues, and there wasn't a lot available to electric cars, and we came across Pikes Peak, and they actually had a class. And we ended up building the car, purpose-built for Pikes Peak. We ran the race in 2012. We ended up setting a record for the fastest street-legal electric car to go up the hill.
Now, the car that Michael is talking about is the famous M3.
342 horsepower and 850.4 pound-feet of torque.
A few years later, I saw it. I'm back at EV West. We're gonna check out some batteries. What are you guys doing over there? Okay, today's vlog is going to be educational and it's gonna be fun for all the BW fans. All right, as you guys know, I drive the Samba everywhere and I use these windows. They're called Safari windows. Today I'm gonna help Danny install her windows on her bus. First things first, we gotta remove those. Okay, so here are the, she wants to be cool like me, so, you know, obviously she...
Oh, look at all that rust just in that time.
Okay, so this is what you have to do to prepare their surface, the rust surface area. POR 15, POR 15, and this is what to paint over rust. And to prepare the surface, of course, you have to use like some chemicals in there. We got the first coat right here. You have those little pucks. So then after you take off all the screws,
We got the fun part.
you got the fun part,
Chisel.
and you gotta pry it out. Oh, there.
Air bubble.
A moment of truth.
What is the purpose for dreaming at night? Daydreaming.
Alright, today I'm going to show you how to change an axle bearing. This is actually a very common problem. Start squeaking and you got to change that bearing. Except that the tool that you need to extract that bearing is very, very specialized. I actually never seen it before, but have you ever seen one of these? If you haven't, you're gonna need one of these. Typically, people will do is they have to make their own tool. You know, grind some pieces of metal or whatever so that you can extract that bearing. How it goes. Each one of these clamps goes in between each ball on the bearing. And then you slide this collar in there all the way in, and then you spin this and it'll just push its way. It'll use the center axle to push that. There we go. And that's how you replace an axle bearing. You need that tool. You ever wonder what people think about our electric conversions? See the reactions on this 70s Porsche 911.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Fuck yes. In a Porsche. Fuck yes.